So as you enter the office, on your right you see our reception and our amazing receptionist. But what you'll notice at a slight change now is because of the pandemic, there's a lot of safety precautions being put in place. So you do see sanitizers being put at the reception just for the ease of all the Googlers taking it. Masks as well and some self-test kits. It's just one of the measures to try to keep the office a little bit safer. As you enter the office, you get greeted by this huge Google branding. Nothing new, because before this we have something very similar, but it's in batik design. And then you do see a white background with a Google search bar next to it. But what has changed now is we adapted a little bit more in terms of the artwork and just have it reflect the Malaysia identity a little bit more. So as we head on to the left side, there's a new cafe. So right now it's about 11:15. Lunch is normally served at around 12 o'clock. So we have our chefs preparing now in preparation for the Googlers to come out. So there are some very localized Baba Nyonya style design. And if you pan to your right, you see Gerai Google being branded. So the design carry-ons on the left side. So instead of putting in tiles, we put in some soft materials as well. Something that's a little bit more pleasing, a little bit different compared to the others. So if you want a little bit cozy, a corner that you can have some quick conversations, this is where you can be. So this area, just right next to the cafe, there used to be a dart. There used to be an arcade. There used to be some soft sittings around here. Right? So we refurbished it a little bit more. There is a meeting room for use. There is space for very quick chat, quick conversation that we can have either with the public or with Googlers ourselves. So now we have sort of refurbished this area into a micro kitchen. You see all sorts of snacks here. We're actually going through something called a vote to select what is the best snacks that we have in the cafe. Some snacks that we have offerings here, cereals, fruits, and of course the usual fridge with all the hidden carbonated drinks at the bottom. Yeah, we always leave the less healthier food at the bottom. So this is where we have our cool nap room. Yeah, no one is using it, so it's perfect. So the theme here is really just trying to get Googlers to disconnect. So although there are a lot of sort of surreal environment, with all the wallpapers that we have, these are actual wood actually that we have installed. So you can at least give them a little bit more connected feel to the nature. There are various moods as well that you can set. So this is where you have the lights on, maximum light. Now we can go for a slightly more relaxing mood. So it dims down a little bit. You could just have a sit at the camping chair, relax, lie down, not going for a deep sleep. Or you could go for sleeping mode, which is an even darker light, but with cove lighting still on. Yeah. Earlier we mentioned that in the front reception, there used to be a Google search logo. So this is where we have brought it in now. Right? This is the exact logo that we used to have. We did not fabricate new. Anything that we have done in new design, where we will try to reuse as much as possible. So mother's room, we have very restricted access. So only nursing mothers will be granted access to this room. So even I myself don't have this access. Right. So on this side of the floor, we retain a lot of the original design and original identity. But what has changed is, as we walk past the Mereka training room, we call it the tech top, right, or event space as well. This is where it changes a little bit more. So we revamped the games area. Typically, you see this being mounted on cars and vehicles to capture videos and images for Google Street. So this is first in Malaysia, first in the world as well, for it to be mounted on a kayak. So it started its journey on the southern side of Malaysia, Kelantan, and then it went down towards Johor, southern side, and then they route back up to the Straits of Malacca. So it took them about 23 weeks for them to complete this journey. So pretty amazing, and we managed to secure that and keep it in the office. Right? So if we took a slight left, the small corner, we will see the games area. And sort of a small cozy games area where you have consoles. Some of it needs refresh. We'll probably need new games too, if I'm honest. And I wanted to show you some cool additions that we have in the office. And these are interesting yet practical, because we do have very quick meetings jumping in and out. And this can be used by visitors as well, right? Sometimes you want to jump up from events, jump into a call, get back out. These are amazing. So you have power, quite comfortable seats, very suitable for confidential calls, and it's all ventilated as well with fans. That's it for level 20. It's a very cozy office, if I'm honest. It has what it needs. It has all the necessary equipment, spaces, amenities, facilities. So that actually helps us to increase the Googlers' productivity as well. So I think that's key, especially moving to the hybrid world. A lot of things has changed. A lot of the practices have changed as well. So that's what we are trying to change. We drive some innovation in the office to help Googlers perform a little bit better. So that marks the end of our tour at level 20. Always no touch. Very convenient. And now we will see you at level 28. Hi, welcome to level 28. Now, bear in mind it's going to be slightly noisy because level 28, it's catered for events. So we have pre-event spaces. There are a lot of artworks here. So you might see a lot more people in the background, and you might hear a bit of noise as well. Bear with me, let's go. All right, so as I've mentioned, you do see a crowd here. So this is a pre-event space. So let's take a left and go down the corridor, and we'll route back here to the pre-event space after. So what you see here is not just any simple installation. This is actually an art piece by itself. The corridor is nicknamed Dreamscapes. Now at the end of the tunnel, what you'll find is a slightly more peaceful area. We call it the vivarium, but the truth is we haven't figured out what to call it. Right? There are people who nickname it as the oxygen room, the indoor garden, the cozy corner, the quiet corner. So it's really up to your own interpretation how this space is and what this space is to you. Now the interesting piece in this area is the use of technology in terms of the IoT devices that we have. So if you look at the screen right now, it tracks a lot of temperature, humidity, water level and light. So all these are being driven by technology that we seldom see. There are sensors being placed around in this space itself. And it sort of feeds the information here. And what it does is that if, let's say, it hits a level where the condition is not optimum, it's going to send a notification to a team. They're going to come in and they're going to make adjustments to the space, right? Be it the type of plants, the water level, humidity level, or even the lighting level. So I think that's what drives this area. And at this point in time, I'm proud to say we have gone live for about a year now. This space itself, it has always been in a fairly good condition. So thumbs up to the guys who set this up. Great designers. All right, let's head back to the pre-event space and we'll talk about one last major art piece that we have. So the installation here is done by Red Hong Yi. I think she requires no introduction. Fairly familiar and famous artist based in Malaysia. Now, what is interesting about this piece is we have actually something very similar in Singapore office as well. Same design concept, same material being used, but the context is very much different. So we do see a skyline of Malaysia here with all the major landmarks that we have. I'm not sure if you can see it, but if you could try to spot, there is a little G somewhere hidden in the building. I'm going to leave it up to you to see where it is. And of course, if you see the two children, I think that is very significant because the concept behind having the two children is, it signifies how important the future generation is, not just to us, but to the population, to the community as a whole. Right? The future generation is the key to everything. Now, these acts as pointers to actually guide this AR. Now what it does is, I'm gonna show you how it works. We go to an app. On a Pixel phone, we scan it, and then it's gonna show you various different augmented reality. Now the fun fact about this is we do see two icons at the bottom, right? Marco and Jamini. And what we are showcasing right now is an actual art piece by Jamini. So she actually drew this via AR, and we have documented this. So let's bring you to one of our largest event space in the office, codename Wawasan, by the way. Now the capacity here is about 80 pax seated, but we could actually squeeze in a little bit more to about 100 pax. So having the space open up gives it a little bit openness. It seems larger, and of course more natural lighting as well, so that the feel is completely different. And this would be very suitable for presentations without slides, and it's really just trying to get people to be a little bit more engaged in the session itself. So that's where we are in terms of the usability of the space. We just try to keep it as flexible as possible, just like what we are with a lot of our solutions as well to the community. Yeah, I think that marks the end of our tour in Google Malaysia. Thank you very much.